You know, underneath all the noise of our daily thoughts, our to-do lists, our worries, our ambitions, there's this quiet hum, a subtle current of energy. Sometimes we feel it, right? It's like this sense of untapped potential, a feeling that there's something more to us, something deeper that we haven't quite accessed yet. It's not loud or demanding. It's more like a gentle, persistent whisper.
I mean, have you? Maybe it was in a moment of just profound quiet, watching a sunset. Or maybe, strangely enough, in the middle of a super busy day when you suddenly felt like you were both in the world and also watching it from some still place way deep inside. It's this sense of a vast inner landscape just waiting to be explored, a power that feels both incredibly personal and at the same time universally true.
We spend so much of our lives searching, don't we? Looking for fulfillment on the outside, in our careers, in relationships, in all of our achievements. We're always looking for that next thing that's going to complete us, that's going to give us that lasting sense of purpose and vitality. But what if that whole search is pointed in completely the wrong direction? What if the key to a truly vibrant, meaningful life isn't something we have to go out and get, but something we simply need to awaken?
And you know, this is not some new idea. For literally thousands of years, ancient wisdom traditions, especially in India, have talked about this dormant potential. They even gave it a name, and a really powerful metaphor, a sleeping serpent, coiled up and just waiting. And it's not something to be afraid of. It's a symbol of immense creative power, a divine energy that's like the source code of our existence, and it's resting inside each and every one of us.
So, let's start that journey into our inner world. We're going to explore what this hidden energy really is, beyond all the myth and metaphor. We'll ask the question, what does it truly mean to awaken it? And I think most importantly, we're going to look at how understanding this ancient concept can actually shift the way we navigate our very modern, and let's face it, very complex lives.
Okay, so to begin, let's put the mystical imagery on a shelf for just a moment. And let's think about this energy in a much more grounded way. Imagine it not as a serpent, but as the very river of your life, the source of your creativity, your vitality, your will to even exist.
So, the formal name for this energy in yogic traditions is Kundalini, is described as the fundamental life force. And it's not something exotic or separate from you, it is you. It's the energy that heals a cut on your finger. It's the intelligence that digests your food. And it's the creative spark that lets you solve a tough problem or write a piece of music. It is quite literally the raw, creative power of the universe, just individualized inside of you.
Have you ever been so completely absorbed in something? Maybe playing an instrument, or writing, or coding, even gardening, or just having a really deep conversation. The time just seems to disappear. You're not thinking about yourself, you're not judging how you're doing, you are simply in it. You're in a state of flow. Well, that feeling, that effortless, powerful, creative state, that is the feeling of this river, this Kundalini energy, flowing freely, without any obstruction.
So here's the question. If this powerful river flows within all of us, why do we so often feel drained or stuck or disconnected? Well, think about what happens to a real river. Dams can be built, debris can block the flow. In our own lives, these blockages are the knots of tension we carry in our bodies. They're the dams of past traumas, the debris of chronic stress, self-criticism, and fear. Now, these things don't stop the river entirely, but they divert its course, they make its flow weak and inefficient, and that leaves us feeling totally depleted.
So if our inner river is blocked by these dams of fear and stress, how do we even begin to navigate them? Well, the ancient traditions, they provided a map. They saw that this energy doesn't just flow randomly. It actually moves through specific centers within the body, and each one governs a different part of our human experience. Understanding this map, it's like understanding the geography of our own inner world.
The journey of this energy is an ascent, and it starts right at the foundation. This is the root center, or Muladhara. It's our connection to the earth, our fundamental sense of safety, security, and belonging. This is where that serpent sleeps. Now, as it awakens and begins to rise, it reaches the solar plexus, or Manipura. This is the seat of our personal power, our will, our confidence to act in the world. It's the fire of our identity. When this is clear, we feel capable and self-assured. From there, the energy reaches this crucial bridge, the heart, or Anahata. And here, our focus shifts from me to we. It's the center of empathy, connection, and love, allowing us to relate to others from a place of wholeness. And as the journey continues upward, it can illuminate the third eye, Ajna, the center of our intuition and inner wisdom, our ability to see clearly beyond the surface of things. Each step you see is a profound expansion of our own awareness.
And here's the thing that's so important to get. This journey isn't about forcing something to happen. It's not about conquering these centers. It's more like a process of inner alchemy, of purification. It's about gently untangling the knots of fear that keep us feeling unsafe at our root, dissolving the insecurities that block our personal power, and melting the walls of resentment that can close off our hearts. It's really just about restoring the natural, unobstructed flow of the river.
But why? I mean, what's the ultimate purpose of this whole ascent? Where is this river even flowing to? To really understand that, we need to introduce two fundamental principles that are at play within us and really within the entire cosmos.
So on one hand, we have Shakti. Shakti is the energy we've been talking about. It's the river, it's the serpent, it is the dance of life. It's dynamic, creative, vibrant. It's all about movement and manifestation. And then on the other hand, at the very crown of the head resides the principle of Shiva. Now, Shiva isn't energy. It's pure, still consciousness. It's the vast, silent, empty sky in which the dance happens. It's potential. It's spaciousness. It is the silent witness, just pure awareness itself. And this right here is the core of so much of our human struggle. We feel this split, don't we? Our energy, our desires, our actions, our emotions, it all often feels disconnected from our deeper awareness. We act without consciousness, or we remain aware but feel powerless to actually do anything. We feel torn between being and doing. And this perceived separation between our energy, Shakti, and our consciousness, Shiva, well, that's the fundamental source of that feeling of being fractured or incomplete.
The destination of the river, the whole goal of the serpent's journey, is the union of these two principles. This image of Ardhanarishvara, a depiction of Shiva and Shakti as one single being, it just illustrates this union so brilliantly. It's this powerful symbol that the dance and the sky, energy and awareness, they aren't two separate things. They are two aspects of a single reality. The journey of Kundalini is the journey of reuniting our active energy with our silent awareness, creating a perfect, harmonious whole, right inside ourselves.
Okay, that's beautiful, but what does this actually mean for our day-to-day lives? I mean, what changes when this inner union starts to take place? How does it affect our perspective on the world, on our challenges, and on ourselves?
Well, first, it's really important to understand that this isn't about some dramatic, explosive event. For most of us, it's a gradual process. It's less of a lightning strike and more like a sunrise. It's this slow, gentle realization of a wholeness that was actually there all along. It's not about becoming someone new, but about finally coming home to who you have always been underneath all the layers of stress and conditioning.
And this brings about a really fundamental shift. Life's challenges don't magically disappear. You still have deadlines and difficult conversations and unexpected problems, but your relationship to them changes completely. You start to find a place of deep stillness, even in the middle of a storm. You begin to act from a place of clarity and compassion, rather than from reactive fear or insecurity. Your creative energy starts to flow just for the joy of creation itself, not for the approval of your ego. And maybe most profoundly, that sense of being a separate, isolated me just begins to dissolve, and you start to experience yourself as part of a vast, interconnected whole.
There's a quote that it nails this whole idea perfectly. It says, "The journey is one of letting go of who we think we are in order to become who we truly are." It's a journey of subtraction, not addition. It's about unbecoming everything you thought you had to be so that you can finally just be who you truly are.
So, we come back to where we started, to that sleeping serpent at the base of the spine. And we see it's not some dangerous or volatile monster to be afraid of. It is your inheritance. It is the blueprint of your own highest potential, a treasure just waiting patiently to be discovered. It is the promise of your own wholeness.
And so, I'll just leave you with this question. Not as something to be answered with your mind, but as something to just feel. What would it feel like, right now, to live from that place of inner union? To feel your dynamic energy and your silent awareness as one? To feel the river flowing freely all the way to the sea? What would it feel like to be fully, completely, and harmoniously you?